Hey everybody, Decent Eddie here. It's Sunday, June 1st, 2025. So far with NBA picks, my NBA confident picks are hitting 81% for the season, and my WNBA picks, a little bit of a hiccup, but still pretty good, 78% overall. Like, subscribe, and hit the bell for daily picks before tip-off on the day of the game. Remember, always check matchup news and injury reports on the days of the games. Data only tells you a part of the story. My goal is to help you make more informed and statistically grounded decisions. While my dataset focuses on moneyline picks, my analysis can be useful for spread and over-under bets. My WNBA dataset is still pretty new, but we're winning more than we're losing, and I expect that we'll have enough data to give more accurate percentages of my data by the next weekend. Let's get started with Sunday's games. It's Sun versus Liberty. Liberty get the highest differential I've seen so far this season, and a provisional Decent Eddie confident pick with a 7.783 differential. The sportsbooks have Liberty as 18.5 point favorites, and they're giving them a 98% chance to win, because nothing is ever 100% in betting. Needless to say, this isn't a money line with a lot of value. The Sun just snagged their first win, but remain in the basement, while the Liberty are tied for first, riding a 6-game win streak. The Sun struggle to score, averaging a league-low 74 points a game, and their defense hovers in the bottom of my data set. Their shooting percentages reflect those struggles. The Liberty probably, they're going to be an unstoppable machine in this game. They lead the WNBA in scoring and boast the league's top field goal percentage. Their defense is at the top of my data set numbers. It's all checks, right? All check. They're checking all the boxes. Liberty has multiple double-digit. You can't really say that fast at 3 in the morning. Anyway, double-digit scorers. Both teams have absences, but the Liberty's overall strength makes them super incredibly tough here. I've got to take Liberty on the money line for my data. I probably will take the over, which is sitting at 162.5 right now. Aces versus Storm is next. Aces get a danger pick with a 0.25 differential. That's tiny. The sportsbooks have Aces as 2.5 point favorites and are giving them a 59% chance to win this one. It's a quick rematch between the Aces and the Storm. The Storm just handed the Aces a surprising 102-82 loss last game. It was brutal. The Aces have a better than average offense and worse than average defense. Despite this, they remain incredibly talented. The Storm are mostly average too. They sort of occupy the same space in many of my data set categories with the Aces. I think I said that on my video a couple days ago. While the last game was a blowout, it's uncommon for a good team like the Aces to get blown out twice, and I expect this to be a much closer contest. I'm taking the Aces on the money line, and I am leaving it at that. Mercury versus Sparks is next. Mercury get a danger pick with a differential of a 1.117 in my data. The books actually like the Sparks here instead of the Mercury. We're going to disagree sometimes, and they're giving the Sparks a 65% chance to win and are a 4-point favorite. The Mercury have had a surprising start despite injuries, while the Sparks are in a rough patch, kind of. They lost 4 of their last 5 games despite some offseason moves, including acquiring a 2-time champion. The Mercury are stronger than dirt in scoring defense. Offensively, they average a little more than 80 points. The Sparks have kind of an average offense, but they're effective in execution. That's something, right? However, their defense really struggles. They're in the bottom quarter of my defensive data sets. These two teams had a tight previous matchup. This is going to be a defensive game that favors the Mercury, in my opinion. There is going to be some inconsistent scoring of both teams, so who knows, really. I'm taking the Mercury on the money line for my data, but I'm also taking them against the spread and treating those 4 points that they're going to get as insurance. Last game, Lynx versus Valkyries. Lynx get a provisional Decent Eddie confident pick with a 4.05 differential. The books have Lynx as 10.5 point favorites and are giving them about 83% chance to win this game head-to-head. Lynx have been a dominant team. There's only a couple parts of my WNBA data set where they're not in the top third of it. The Valkyrie are on a 2-game skid, struggling offensively, ranking at or near the bottom in all my offensive data for them. They do lead the league in 3-point attempts, but ideally you kind of want to hit those threes, and they're not. So, yeah. Their defense is smack dab in the middle of all my defensive data. It probably won't be enough. The Lynx, even if their leading scorer remains sidelined, they should have the depth and power to win this game. Should have. There's never a sure thing. I'm taking the Lynx on the money line for my data. I think they may also cover, so I'm going to take the against the spread, I think, at 10 and 10.5. If it goes beyond 10.5, I'm not, though. So anyway, quick recap. Decent Eddie confident picks, provisional money line confident picks for Liberty and Lynx. We don't have any suboptimal picks, and danger money line picks aces, and Mercury. For parlays, I like to include confident picks and parlays, so if you include aces and Liberty in a 2-leg parlay, your win probability is a ridiculous 80%. That's by sportsbook data, not mine. If you take those 2 legs and add a 3rd leg at between 400 and negative 450 odds, negative 400 to negative 450, right? The win probability is between 64 to 66%. I will always be okay with up to a 3-leg parlay with odds ranging between negative 400 to negative 450 in the legs. Regardless of what you choose, I never recommend more than a 3-leg parlay due to the risks of combined probabilities. And remember, do not spend more than 10% of your bankroll in total across all your wagers in a day. If you need help with a gambling problem, check out my channel's description. So thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to get my picks hours ahead of time. For more, head over to Decent Eddie Picks on Instagram or find me on Facebook or X at Decent Eddie Picks, spelled P-I-X. You can find me on TikTok too. There you'll see a deeper dive into my data. You'll see my Decent Eddie grades for all the teams, which I update regularly, and any last minute thoughts that I might have. So let's see what happens. This is Decent Eddie signing off. Have an awesome day.